Self-made is a myth. You hear it all the time. Quit playing the victim. Look at me. No one ever gave me anything. My family wasn't rich. We pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps and made something of ourselves. Quit looking for handouts and work for it like everyone else. Now, most of us who've managed to eke out a living in this world who weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouths do understand the value of hard work and perseverance. But most people who claim to hate the idea of entitlements, subsidies, welfare programs, social services, and the dreaded reparations often fail to acknowledge the advantages that they themselves were born with. Not to mention the many ways that segregation, gerrymandering, redlining, housing discrimination, and discriminatory hiring practices have affected communities of color and their descendants for generations. But oftentimes, those who claim to be entirely self-made tend to leave out the parts of their story that reveal all the help that they had along the way. My father used to say people like to claim they can walk on water, but they don't want to show you where the rocks are. Certainly, there are many people that have overcome abject circumstances to achieve what they have, but for the vast majority of those folks, the ways in which even a loosely formed network of socially and financially connected people have helped them along the way become much clearer when you examine their come up at close range. So here are my top 10 reasons why self-made is a myth. Number 1, if you had a family member or friend to assist you with a down payment on a home, you are not self-made. Number 2, if you were able to stay with a family member or friend with reduced rent or rent-free for any amount of time until you could afford your own place, you're not self-made. Number 3, if anyone has ever helped you with rent or mortgage payments, you are not self-made. Number 4, if a family member or friend gave you your first vehicle, or if you bought it very cheaply from them at a family and friends rate, you are not self-made. Number 5, if your parents bought property with you as a co-signatory, or if they helped you with bills so you'd have good credit early in life, you are not self-made. Number 6, if your parents paid any part of your college tuition or applied for grants or scholarships on your behalf, or if you received scholarships because of where they work, you are not self-made. Number 7, if you've ever gotten a job interview because a parent or friend recommended you for it, you are not self-made. Number 8, if you were on your parents' phone plan, health insurance plan, or car insurance plan well into adulthood, you are not self-made. Number 9, if you've ever received a loan from a family member that the bank would never have given you, or an inheritance, even property from a family member, you are not self-made. And number 10, if you have family or friends that have ever taken care of your children for little to nothing so you could go to work or school, you are not self-made. Most of us could check at least one of these boxes, including myself. The point is that no matter how insignificant you think any of these factors are, they matter, because there are people living in abject poverty right now who don't have access to any of that. So before you make judgments about a person or a group of people for not pulling themselves up by their bootstraps like you have, you might want to consider where your bootstraps came from.